Hey, welcome back my favorite game developers to a brand new video. In this one we will have the intro and the whole video all together mashed up together because there is no need for an intro. We won't be doing any coding, we won't be doing any Unity, but we will be talking about a very important aspect in game development, and that is the game design. So we always start off with creating the core features or the core mechanics. These are, for example, the walking, the jumping, the shooting, the aiming, the bullets, all of these things, the core mechanics of our game. These need to be very well polished, and it's very important to have these all set up properly before you start creating other things such as, for example, the animations or the enemies. Why? Because let's say you have some, I don't know, of course you've been through this, maybe you have some amazing games with a lot of falling buildings and, I don't know, a lot of scary enemies, but the shooting is very bad. So even if whatever kind of enemy or whatever kind of, I don't know, upgrade system you have, if the shooting is boring, you don't want to play the game. If the walking and running is boring, you don't want to play the game. So it's important to first of all focus on the core features of your game, and then you can start to create the second most important thing, which are, for example, the, I don't know, the enemies, the enemy types, which we are going to do right, or not even the enemy types, just the enemies. This is the second most important thing: having enemies, having level transitions, having I don't know, maybe a good set of animations, a good level design, for example. These are also very important. Just imagine an amazing level, but the walking is so bad that you can't enjoy it. So it's very important to start off by focusing on the most important things, which are the core features. Then you focus on the second most important things like enemies, sprites, animations, and so on. And then the third most important thing to focus on is, for example, the enemy variety, the, I don't know, maybe the type of weapons that you have, the color of the bullets, for example. These are the third most important things. The lighting, the whatever it is. So the things that make your game just a little bit better. The little small mechanics that just tweaks, or the pickups, or the health. These are all the third most important things. The core features, the second most important things, the outside features, and the third. So we've already created a very nice game. We have level transition, we have good walking, we have dashing, we have multiple multiple weapons, multiple bullets that all work different from each other. We have good animations, we have nice transitions from level. I've already said transitions. Anyways, we've created a really nice game, but now it's time to focus on the second and third most important aspects of our game. And we are going to start off with having different types of enemies. So first of all, we will have the cowardly enemy. So currently we already have one type of enemy, which is the skeleton that just stands there, and as soon as the player walks by at a certain range, he starts throwing the knives, and if we get too close, he starts chasing us, and then if we get away, we can stand back. So this is one type. The second type is the one that runs away when the player comes close and starts shooting from a distance. So the challenge in this guy is we try to attack him, we try to shoot him, we get close to get an accurate shot, but he keeps running away. So then we need to get closer, and all the time he is shooting at us. So it's very annoying, which is a good type of enemy. And I've used the skeleton sprites on all of these because I don't know which one I'm going to use of the sprites that we have. Then we have the wanderer, who walks around in random directions without any aim, but chases the player if he gets close. And we will try to add some kind of melee attack, or if the player is in the vicinity or next to this enemy, he will start getting hurt. We will not be focusing a lot on melee because we will be doing that in the boss section. We will not be adding any melee attacks to our enemies right now currently. Maybe we'll just add some kind of circle around the enemy if If the player gets close, he starts getting hurt every couple of seconds, but the melee attack will be more of a focus for us in the boss system. And finally, we have the patroller, and this guy goes from one point to the next and attacks the player if he gets close, and if the player runs away, then he goes back to patrolling. So you've seen all of these types of enemies: one that runs away and then shoots from afar, one that wanders around aimlessly, but then when he sees the player, he runs towards him and tries to kill him. And then finally we have the one that just patrols the area, walks from one point to the next, that we will give him specific points that he will have to walk in, and then when the player gets close, he will start chasing him. If the player can run away, then that guy will go back to his position. So before I continue on and give you the challenge, I've already shown you the enemies. I've provided you with the enemies in the resources. You can go ahead and find your own, obviously. I'm going to create all the animation, set all the sprites, because we've already done this a lot of times. So I don't want to keep wasting time and slicing up sprites and creating animations. So these are things that you should be well equipped to this point. If you still find difficulty in them, go back, watch a couple of videos maybe where we create the animations. But I think that we've done this so much now that you have a pretty solid understanding. If you want, I will go through a little bit of how I created them, just that fast, how I set up the sprites and so on. But I believe it's pretty easy. It's just like the first enemy, I mean. Maybe I'll just copy and paste him and use the same mechanics, everything almost. And with that said, I'm going to issue you a challenge before I go, and it's time to think. So you've been watching me all the time, you've been copying what I do, now it's time for you to think. So, where is it? Okay. Think of other movements you'd like to have or to add to your enemies. Use video games that you played. So maybe you want some kind of enemy that maybe disappears and appears somewhere else. Maybe you want some kind of enemy that dashes towards the player and goes through him and damages him. Maybe you want, I don't know, think of things. Even if you may not know how to create these mechanics, just write them down. Think of, use your imagination of what type of enemy you'd like to have, even if you don't know how to do it. This is imperative. You might be thinking, well, I don't know how to create an enemy that disappears, Michael. How am I going to do this? Well, don't think like that. Think of, I want to create an enemy that disappears, and I will do whatever it takes to do that, even if I don't have the full information right now. Then you'll need to think of different attacks you'd like to have the enemy. So just like we said, maybe that enemy dashes through you and damages you. Maybe that enemy throws something. Maybe that enemy jumps on top of you. Maybe that enemy, I don't know what he does. Maybe he creates some kind of earthquake or something towards you. I don't know. Use your imagination, have fun, enjoy. And finally, you can go and share it on our Discord channel. So if to this point you still don't know that we have a Discord, maybe you've been living under a rock or something, we actually do have a Discord channel. It's an amazing community. It's growing. I believe right now we have almost 200 members, and by the time you watch this video, it's probably over 300. A lot of people are watching. A lot of people are not just asking questions, but also trying to help other people, and it's very important. Trust me, when I started creating courses and answering people, my knowledge of Unity went through the roof, because every single day I have people asking me questions that even I don't know the answer to. So I have to go research things, create or simulate the problem on my PC, and then understand what the problem is. And from that, I was able to use the mechanics and all the problem solving that I learned by answering students to create a better, and then a better, and even better game every single time. So I do recommend the Discord channel. Go there, watch some of the people that are there, answer questions, ask questions, and share your game. Share what you would like to have in your game, what type of enemy you'd like to implement. Maybe you'll even find friends there that will help you together create a game. I already seen like 3 people that made a team there, and it's so amazing. Their names are Mark, Cheesy, and some kind of MBD, I don't know. So Mark, Cheesy, and MBD now are working together to create some kind of crazy game, honestly. Didn't even try to put myself in the conversation because I already have a lot on my plate. But as you can see, it's an amazing community, amazing place to learn. So with that said, pause the video right now. Take at least give yourself 10 to 15 minutes to just to write down things, have fun, enjoy. And with that said, I'll see you in the next video.